For delegates attending the COP15 Ramsar Convention in Zimbabwe, the timing of their gathering was significant in many ways. The Convention on Wetlands was signed by governments in the Iranian city of Ramsar in February 1971 and came into force in 1975. That's 50 years ago. Since then, more states have supported the convention, but the problems in preserving wetlands and other natural habitats continue to increase. Despite the growth of the Ramsar Convention, wetlands are declining at a worrying rate, especially as the world tries to balance economic development and environmental targets.
According to the recent studies, between 2016 to 2050, nearly 15 million square kilometers of natural habitats are projected to be lost to urban growth. And this includes the very wetlands that help the cities to manage the floods, the clean water, and the cooling.
Getting funding to protect natural habitats has been a struggle for governments and other agencies involved in such work.
We know there's something like a $700 billion gap in terms of delivering our biodiversity ambitions. And just a couple of weeks ago, there was a new report that came out called the Global Wetlands Outlook, and that outlined the scale of loss, but also the opportunity and indeed commitment to try and deliver an additional 550 million hectares to be protected and restored. Now that will require significant new injection of resources.
BirdLife International has led innovative financial models that leverage private sector and development bank capital to protect natural habitats in Asia and Africa.
As the world strives to achieve climate targets, governments are being urged to embrace a stakeholder that's often undervalued and sometimes overlooked when it comes to the discourse.
That is the local community that live within the natural habitats.
There's so much knowledge and wisdom in the indigenous people's traditions and their own systems that it makes perfect sense to make use of those. What is interesting, and that's also in the work that we do with Wetlands International, is that you can really empower that knowledge by combining it with very high-tech solutions. What we are propagating, and luckily there's a lot of interesting pilots that have been proven that they're very successful, is that the money should go as directly as possible to where the local action is.
The Victoria Falls Declaration calling for increased funding and political commitment to conservation is expected to be passed at the end of this conference. But it's what happens outside the conference halls and on the ground that will determine how successful ongoing efforts to conserve wetlands and other habitats will be in the near future. Farai Mokutuya, CGTN, Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe.